guys, I hope you had an awesome week and we're finally heading into the weekend. I had a very busy week myself. I casted the top 64 qualifiers and I also competed in a official cards tournament and tied first place. So that was a really fun experience. I posted the video yesterday, I think. And no, I'm not quitting Gwent. Don't worry, I'm never quitting Gwent ever. So we're just playing a little bit more variety while the meta is a tad bit stale, and of course we're theory crafting with these videos, trying to figure out what decks we're going to be playing in the next expansion on Tuesday. So I already have a bunch of decks lined up and we're going to be very busy that week, so it's going to be quite fun. But yeah, as we go into the next weekend, let's take a look at these Skellige cards that have been released. So firstly, I think Skellige is likely going to be a very strong faction. It might be the strongest one out of all the expansion cards that has been released, just because of the amazing synergy and point slam some of these cards offer. But let's start off with little Halfroo. I mean, this card art is amazing. I can't tell if she's climbing into the mermaid tail or out of it. Either way, it's super creepy and I love it. This also is a bonded card, so like all bonded cards, it works pretty similar. Now, it starts on a 6/4, and if bonded, it starts with 8/4. So this is how most bonded cards work. It depends how much synergy it has with your decks to see whether it's competitive or not. Now, if it is bonded, meaning there's already a little Halfroo on the board, your second one on deploy will boost the base power to 8, not the first one. And on order, it will damage self by 4 points and spawn rain for 2 turns on an enemy row. So rain obviously does 2 points of damage every turn, so you directly trade your base power for rain. Now let's see how rain can come in handy with some of these other cards. Alright, here is our 13 provision card, Fukusya. On deploy, he will play a Skellige unit from your graveyard with a provision cost of 10 or less, giving a doomed. It will also spawn rain on the opposite row with a duration equal to the unused provisions. So you can play any Skellige unit from your graveyard with 10 or less provision costs. And let's say you play a 6 provision card, you will be able to play 4 turns of rain on a row, which is pretty cool because you are actually trading 1 provision for 2 points. Now, there are obviously a bunch of cards we can play Fukusya with. I mean, Bride of the Sea is just a pretty straightforward one we could potentially play. It plays an alchemy card from your graveyard with a provision cost 4 or less. So you play the first 13 provision card, you play Bride of the Sea, and you get 2 turns of rain because it's only 8 provisions. And after this has been deployed, it increases the cost by the total duration of rain and storm on your opponent's side, which is pretty cool. What happens is Fukusya will be played first. Fukusya will then pull out Bride of the Sea, which is 8 provisions. Before Bride of the Sea is played, Fukusya will spawn 2 turns of rain on a row, and then Bride of the Sea is played in that order. So then Bride of the Sea gets deployed. It will play an alchemy card from your graveyard with 4 provisions or less, and it will increase the cost by the total duration of rain on your opponent's side. So automatically Bride of the Sea will be able to pull out a 6 provision card from the graveyard and not a 4 provision card. I mean, there's so much synergy in this deck, it's absolutely amazing. And I did confirm with CDPR that it will trigger in this order. Fukusya will resolve, and then Bride of the Sea. So I hope that was clear enough, hopefully. But yes, so Fukusya, exceptionally strong card, a lot of synergy. Now, how about this one? Another extremely synergistic card. This is Ryogun, the Undying. This will start in your graveyard, and when played or summoned from your graveyard, it will trigger all remaining rain and storm on the opposite side of the battlefield, the opponent's side. So this is super strong for a variety of reasons. Because if you have, let's say you have 8 turns of rain on the opposite side of the board, and you only have 2 turns left before the game ends, you're going to waste all that rain. But what Ryogun does is, he's going to make it go off in 1 turn. It's going to be amazing. So you're going to get 16 points of damage with that rain going all in 1 turn. I mean, this is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna look awesome. It has absolute synergy with cards like Melusine. So as you can see, Melusine will work very well with this, because Melusine spawns rain on an enemy row for 2 turns and refreshes the order ability every turn if you have a cultist. So you're constantly putting 2 turns of rain on the opposite side of the board, meaning you have far too much rain. And normally that doesn't resolve, but with this card, it will. You'll be playing the Undying card and just triggering all of that at the end of the game, which is so cool. Now, Melusine is also a card you 100% want in your graveyard, because it's 10 provisions, right? And its base power increases every time we use her. So she spawns rain on an enemy row for 2 turns and damages herself by 2. At the end of the turn, she damages adjacent enemy units by 1, and then she gains 1 base power for every unit damaged. So, exceptional card. And if you have Melusine in your graveyard and you want that huge point slam and a potential short round 3, then you play Fukusya, which is amazing. I mean, you get to play a Skellige unit from your graveyard with provision cost of 10 or less. It's like, boom, Melusine. It's amazing. I'm really excited about this, if you can tell. I think it's going to be super strong. And this is also just great card art. I mean, look at this little, like, beautiful little girl. Messenger of the Sea. Whenever rain or storm damages enemy units, boost self by the damage dealt. So, if you have rain that does 2 points of damage on an enemy row, she's going to get boosted by 2 points. If we decide we want 9 turns of rain, which will accumulate to 18 points of damage, and we perhaps use something like the Undying card, then all of the rain damage will go off in one single turn. Not only will you be damaging all the enemy units, but you'll also have the Messenger of the Sea getting boosted for all the damage. It's almost like a free Dagur. It's amazing. It's really cool, and it's so cheap. You don't have to commit to Dagur in order to pull this off. Instead, you just have a very happy little mermaid girl offering you a shell. Very wholesome. Very wholesome. But that has been me, guys. I'm really excited for Skellige. This is going to be super cool. We're playing this within the first 2 or 3 days, that's for sure. And we're definitely playing Squirtle. And we're going to look at the monster cards in the next video. And then we're going to look at Northern Realms, which is last. Hopefully best for last, right? I really want Northern Realms to be competitive again. But yeah, guys, enjoy your weekend. I'll definitely see you again with another video or a stream. And yes, I'm never leaving Gwent, so don't worry. I think my community was just joking around in that comments section, so don't worry. We had a little laugh about it on stream. It's all in good fun. Why would I want to leave that behind? Anyway, have a good weekend, and I'll see you soon.